Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And on today's review episode, we're going to be reviewing my doomed pick from the Wheel of Destiny. For some reason, we're reviewing 2018's Mute.
Do you know what it is to make your dreams come true, Leo?
Make your dreams come true.
Gangsters. You're a good man.
Can you tell I'm Russian?
The barman should not punch the fucking customers.
I don't deserve you, Leo. I love you so much, but you don't know me.
What?
MILF?
I want to know what this crazy bartender.
Sure you want our help with this?
It's crazy bartender.
This kind of thing hurts my reputation.
Sounds like Malkovich and Rounders.
No soda.
Give him his money.
From Duncan Jones,
Has secrets.
the director of Moon, Source Code, and Warcraft.
All flops.
He did source code?
Yeah.
Not very talkative.
Get it? You're not talkative.
going on?
You need to maintain a sense of humor, babe. You gonna give me some trouble, big boy? Or are you gonna channel that famous Amish serenity?
Leo, I need to tell you something.
The song's a banger, though.
This is gonna stop right now.
It ain't a secret anymore.
Would you do anything for her? Say you're sorry. Fucking say it! Why the hell can't he talk?
He doesn't need words.
It. Mute.
Eat him.
Eat them, join them.
All right. So that's it. That's Mute. Netflix original movie Mute from 2018. This is a movie that is directed by the most beloved Duncan Jones, the child of David Bowie, who, like the trailer says in reverse, directed Moon, Source Code, and the Warcraft CGI movie, which Tyler's mom is a huge fan of.
Yes.
Loves the movie because she's a WoW player, right?
Yeah.
What's her class? What does she play as? She's
I
Terran.
I don't know.
Wait,
You didn't
that's
ask about your
StarCraft,
mom
that's
and her
StarCraft.
hobbies?
You don't know if she's an orc or a human?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
There's more than just orc, too. There's like these bison guys. There's
We're getting off topic here.
wizards and warlocks.
Stop talking about my
mages.
mother.
So, like I said, directed by Duncan Jones, also co-directed or co-written by Michael Robert Johnson, who does not have a whole lot of really anything into his credit. Sherlock Holmes, he did the screen story, the one with RDJ, screenplay for Pompeii, Late Shift, Frankenstein Chronicles, and then Mute. Nothing since then. Oh, blacklisted after that apparently. This is starring Alexander Skarsgård as Leo the Mute, Paul Rudd as Cactus Bill, Justin Theroux as Duck, Levi Eisenblatter as young Leo. Let's see who else is in this. Rosie Shaw as young Sibley. A bunch of other people that I've never heard of before because they're probably German. There's a lot of German in this.
Yes.
Set in like Berlin in the distant future.
The
Like
year
it-
2000.
And the plot says, a mute bartender goes up against the city's gangsters in an effort to find out what happened to his missing partner.
His girlfriend.
His girlfriend gone.
Where's my girlfriend?
Where'd she go? Yeah, so this movie's a Netflix original. I remember watching it back when it first came out in early 2018. And I remember thinking, gosh, there's a lot of potential in this. And it has a cool look in a lot of places, and the world building looks great. They do a pretty good job of it. But the story is just kind of a mess. And I didn't really like what Paul Rudd was doing. But I was like, maybe we should give it another shot. It's a movie that I feel like people forgot even existed or never gave it a chance to begin with. So, and I like
That was
Duncan,
me.
I like Duncan Jones. Didn't give it a chance to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't even consider it.
How about you, Tyler?
I
Never seen it?
Never seen it. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I like Duncan Jones, I think he's
Like
You
Moon,
said-
Moon was really good.
Moon was really, really good.
Yeah. And this is officially, not unofficially, this is officially the sequel to Moon.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yes.
It's in the same universe.
It's in the same universe?
Yeah, because you see him, you see
Sam
Sam Bell when he's in the diner and he's watching the trial, and it's Sam Rockwell up on there, and he's like, "I'm Sam Bell," and he goes, well, "I'm also Sam Bell."
Oh my God, I didn't even make that connection. Holy shit.
But that impressed me a lot. The fact that it was like, they're following it up because the end of Moon, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that though.
Yeah, I know. It was like the Ben Stiller trial in Cable Guy.
I think they were Asian. The Menendez
I'm
brothers.
pretty sure they were Asian.
Yeah, outside of that one video screen of showing that the trial, there's no connection to Moon.
The story or anything.
It's just in the same universe.
It's in the same universe, but they say it's the second of the trilogy.
Trilogy.
I'll get to that. So
Source Code is the that came before
Source Code is
that.
totally different. Yeah. So anyway, so this is not my first time. It's your two first time. So let's go around and give us impressions. Tyler, what's your first impression from Mute?
Well, let me just go ahead and read my review on it.
Tyler reads his own Letterboxd reviews.
Okay.
I rated it 2 stars.
Okay.
And
Generous.
I go on to say, this movie sucks. I wanted more.
That's a drop. Okay.
I wanted more Paul Rudd's story. His character story was more interesting than the main character. Part of the course of a Netflix movie that have a good idea and just squander it. Too long and the ending fell flat. Paul Rudd carried the movie C- in a report.
C-.
C- 2 stars.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I haven't watched the trailer up until just right this moment.
Yeah.
And the trailer makes it look like it's going to be like this like expansive, really cool like sci-fi adventure movie. The concept, of course, of Alexander Skarsgard's character Leo being mute because of a boating accident.
Yeah. Boating propeller accident.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting concept.
I
don't know why
he got the sleepaway camp treatment.
I don't know how he got.
But live. I guess no. They both live.
Yeah, they live.
I don't know how he got a bartending job because typically you need to be a little bit more vocal when you're a bartender. So that kind of threw me
You gotta
off.
say, "Hey, bub, what's eating you?"
Hey, can you make chit chat with your?
Well, he's in a nightclub. You're not supposed to be talking to these people.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you'd have to, like when you're in a bar setting, the bartenders are like, "Hey, here you go," or "Do you want another one?"
I think if he was deaf, it would be harder.
Yeah, deaf would be almost impossible.
Well, yeah, deaf would be it. Yeah, that would be impossible.
Here's a sign that says, "Please write down your order."
But typically,
on this whiteboard.
A typical bartender is usually, very cordial and vocal with the patrons.
And he's neither.
And he's neither.
He punches him in the head and doesn't talk to him. Welcome.
So I think, yeah, the concept of the movie is, actually, you know what? Even thinking about it now, the concept of the movie is pretty weak. What I really liked was the side story with Paul Rudd's character, him being a mafia surgeon on the side, not on the side, like that's his career.
Yeah.
And him he went AWOL because
him and Justin Duck were in the military together.
Yeah. And
then now they left the States and they're stuck in Berlin working for the mob for some reason.
Well, so Paul Rudd's character went AWOL, and the Duck says a throwaway line, "I served my time." So he has his own clinic and everything. He's legit, but Paul Rudd, and so he's working to get passports. And just basically
it's like
to get back into the States.
Maybe it's a new identity or something like that.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. And I was more interested in that storyline. And they try to make him the antagonist, which it felt really forced in the end because I'm not going to spoil it right now, but in the end it felt very forced because throughout the whole movie it just seems like a guy who's desperate to get him and his daughter out of Berlin.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting. I thought the whole mafia surgery thing was very interesting as well. When they first showed the first scene of them doing surgery and they're just shooting the shit, like drinking beer and doing surgery on this guy.
Yeah.
That was really fun. But every time Alex Skarsgard was like in the scene, it just wasn't interesting. So, and they're trying to make that the focal point of him finding his girlfriend, which I don't even think they were together for that long.
I don't think so either.
I think he was just an Amish guy who's never experienced the touch of a woman. And so he immediately falls in love with the first person that gives him the slightest touch of affection.
First time he ever came to climax, he's like, I'm in love! I'm in love!
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, that's my wife.
That's it. So the pacing of the movie is you're led to believe that they've been together for a long time and that they're in love, but really I think it's just infatuation on Leo's lust at first sight.
She gave me a phone, dude. She's
Yeah.
the
A
one.
phone.
She's the one.
Yeah, and so the framework is there for it to be a very compelling movie, but it didn't have any direction. So that's why I said this movie sucks. Like it sucks because there is so much wasted potential.
What do you think about the visuals?
I thought it was fine. I think, what was that Ryan Gosling movie?
Blade Runner?
No, not Blade Runner. It was with him and his mom or something. It was
Him and his mom.
It was
Only God Forgives.
Only God Forgives.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, but I think Only God Forgives did it way better.
But that's not the future.
No, but it's
I get what you mean. It's kind of like that vibe.
Neon noir style.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah, he says.
It's a very weird
guess he
connection
says.
that you have.
I see it.
I don't.
And
I don't think that's the first thing. First, Blade Runner is the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, and then just
That sort of like the mafia's a ever present point in the storyline.
Yeah, but that's another thing too. The mafia didn't feel dangerous. Like I didn't feel like no one was in danger. There was no like stakes. So yeah, I mean it was certainly a movie.
All right, cool. Joseph, how did you feel about this?
Actually, very similar to how Tyler felt. Like I liked Paul Rudd a lot in this movie. I liked his character and what he was doing. He was very much an asshole. Another movie where he's an asshole to a person working at a coffee shop or something.
I love you, man. Right? No,
Yeah, no. What was
role
it?
models.
Yeah,
role models.
Venti means 20.
Yeah.
Stupid in 2 languages. I liked his story. I liked him being that character and like wanting to get out and with his daughter, because up until the end, to the reveal, it's like I'm like under the impression like this guy's supposed to be like the bad guy, or he's supposed like we're not supposed to like him, because you said that he was supposed to be the bad guy. So that's what I went in with.
That's
Who,
what I
Paul
did
Rudd?
too.
Yeah. I went in with the anticipation like he's supposed to be the bad guy, and the whole time before the reveal, I was like, this guy just seems like he's trying to get out. And I'm like, are they going to end up being like adversaries at first, but then they have the same goal?
Mm-hmm.
And then that obviously didn't happen. But yeah, I liked what he was doing. I was really annoyed with Justin Theroux's character because he kept on saying babe.
That bothered me.
That irked me. It bothered the shit out of me.
Hey, babe.
You need to chill, babe. Come on,
babe.
All right, come on, babe. Which is like
a little overused.
It's just, it was just overused. It's fine to do it a couple times, but he just kept on doing it. And then his terrible hair that he had.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
The character himself, I thought the thing that they did with his character and made him a creep.
Well, yeah,
was an interesting thing to do to his character, and the fact that he and Paul Rudd was aware of what he was doing and what kind of person he was. I thought that was a very complex and kind of dark relationship that they had.
I don't think he was so aware of it till the end when he discovers the camera.
It was it was in the third act.
But no, because he says, I knew what you were doing in Kabul or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He mentions that, like,
I have a feeling the way I interpreted that was that, you kind of figure he's a creep or a sexual deviant of some sort, but it's almost some plausible deniability to a friend.
Yeah.
Once But if I went over to Tyler's house and there was a camera in the toilet, I'd be like, oh, fuck. I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it all along.
Wait a minute, why does that have to be
knew
me?
it all along.
I guess it's more like it like confirmed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, oh, that's what he was doing. And so maybe that's what it was. But he was still like, they went to the fucking arcade pizza joint afterwards and hung out after he found
that didn't make sense to me because he was so aggressive towards that reveal of him being a creep, and then he is like, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go celebrate.
Fucked up.
But it's like what? And just after all of that,
but
I would not do that.
So that was like that side of the story with Paul Rudd and Justin Theroux was really interesting to me, and then Skarsgard's Leo's whole story is just, where's my girlfriend at? I can't find my girlfriend. And
know how to operate a cell phone.
And like we've kind of been saying is that this movie had a lot of potential, but it didn't go anywhere with it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really cool elements in the story that have no payoff to anything, especially with the main storyline. I'm like, oh, the whole time that was it? That's it? I get no satisfaction from that.
Yeah.
The reveal was okay by the end. It makes sense. But like her story, I'm like, that's it? She's gone?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
The whole time?
It's very anticlimactic and not satisfying.
And he's like I guess because he's Amish, he's a woodworker. Right? Yeah. He's making a bed frame. That's like this grandiose, elegant thing. He uses it as a weapon.
Yeah.
At the end,
it was a memorable weapon.
And there's a lot of cool elements here that all add up to nothing.
Yeah.
And I really it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be because of those cool elements and like just small plot points that didn't add up to anything. And I wanted to like it, but the story, it just went nowhere. And then after it just kind of like kept going. Like, I was like, that should be the end, but no, we're continuing.
Yeah,
it's like it should be over now.
Yeah,
we've reached like the end of the story in which I barely cared about, and now we're still going.
Yeah,
we're still going,
still happening. It's a long run time,
and it was kind of a dark ending with Paul Rudd's character, and then Ducks. He's like, you should have been nicer to me. And then he like turns like the screen to his daughter's bedroom.
Oh,
it's like
fucking dark. Dude.
He's like, watch what I'm gonna do to your daughter.
I know. You're like, oh God,
what is he gonna do?
I know. I was like, holy shit, it's really gonna go that way.
Yeah, but but yeah, it was disappointing. I was very much disappointed in the movie because I wanted to like. Actually, I wanted to because there were things I did appreciate about it, and I wanted to see more of the Sam Bell stuff. Where does that go? Because Moon, he escapes through the the pod or whatever.
Yeah,
and like just like a transfer of
it's supposed to be
cargo.
It's supposed to be the dead body.
Yeah,
clone is being transported to Earth. Yeah, and he jumps in there with it or something. Yeah, and kicks it out,
and then and then it ends there. It doesn't. The movie ends there. It doesn't show him on Earth.
Yeah, one of our first reviews on the show.
Yeah,
episode 2 or 3 or something like that.
And I wanted to see where that went because that's the biggest cliffhanger for that movie. What's going to happen? It was so ambiguous.
Yeah,
what does it mean for the world?
Episode 5.
Wow.
Episode 5. Yeah.
But yeah, very very disappointing. Not that I have like super high expectations, but still, let me know.
Still disappointing. Yeah. All right. Okay, so my first rewatch, I'll just give a little context for the quality. The rating, 5.5 on IMDb.
Wow.
21% on the tomato meter. 47% audience score.
Okay.
Seems a little high.
Yeah.
And that's 47% of people who watched this movie gave it a recommend.
Okay.
Would say thumbs up versus thumbs down. On either a on or off scale, good or bad, 47% say good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, from the audience.
Yeah.
The critics, 21% say good.
Okay.
It's probably closer. I mean, I don't feel like it's a piece of shit.
No.
There's a lot of good things about it. And there's a lot of movies that I can't think of any off the top of my head, but where I'm like, I don't understand the hell's going on with the movie or the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't particularly care, but I like the characters and I like what I'm seeing and I like the vibe of the whole thing. And it and I'm okay with that. Sometimes that's enough. In this case, it was not enough.
Yeah.
I needed that story to connect the fucking dots somewhere. It was this ultra neo-noir of this guy trying to solve this case. And it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. In a normal noir, you are tethered to one character the whole time. You have Jack Nicholson from Chinatown. You have Brody from The Kid Detective. You know,
it comes back to The Kid Detective.
The two best in noirs that I can think of. You got Bogey from Maltese Falcon. You know, and it's like they're following the movies told from their perspective, and then you have other characters come and go, but you never see their side of it.
Right.
It's almost like Duncan Jones realized that Skarsgard was not interesting enough as a character to hang the entire movie on, so they put in these really interesting guys over here, and it's like they should have been the main character. It shouldn't have been called Mute. It should have been called, you know,
Surgeon,
Cactus Bill or something like that. Yeah, but it was like there's more. That he's a more complex character, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
What if the story was told from his perspective, and you got to see how he AWOL'd, how he got into New Berlin, how he set up his shop with his, you know, war buddy so many years later. And maybe he had some inconspicuous ideas about how much of a creep he was, but he needed to do it because he needed a place to crash or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then his mob bosses come to him and say, "We need you to take care of this mute bartender." And you're like, "Oh, that's weird. That's an interesting side character." Skarsgard could have been the side character.
You're right.
Cactus Bill could have been the main guy. Yeah. So it's like the movie's the detriment of the story is, number one, that we're not watching the most interesting guy. Mm-hmm. You know, they split time between them two, which I guess is fine enough, but the movie's fucking called Mute.
Yeah.
You know? So immediately it's like forcing you to think of it as this mute guy as the protagonist, when in reality he's not the guy that you want to even be watching. And then on top of it, you get this really, for people who love Moon, who most people who see that movie really enjoy it or love it. And I do love that movie.
Yeah.
You see this little flash of like, oh, cool, we're going to find out what happens to Sam Bell. And then it's fucking gone. And it's like, don't even show me that more interesting story to take it away from me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that story could have been great. Yeah. That could have been a winner for Netflix.
I mean, I think that I can see where Duncan Jones could visualize a mute Amish protagonist being in part of a neo-noir, like you said. Mm-hmm. That myself is interesting. But he also introduces the element of the mafia surgeon, which is also very interesting. Mm-hmm. So you have these two very interesting concepts, but you can't.
Well, they're fighting against each other for your attention.
Exactly.
And I don't think it leads you into a place where you feel satisfied with either one of them.
Right.
So what's kind of interesting about the movie itself is that it was stuck in like this developmental process for years and years and years. And this was supposed to be Duncan Jones' first movie.
Really?
Yeah. He brought it to Sam Rockwell and said, "Hey, I want you to be in my movie." You know, and he's like, "Hey, you're David Bowie's son. All right." And then, and they both,
I can hear that in his voice too.
And they both deemed them two and probably other people that this movie was just too big for a first-time filmmaker.
Yeah.
Too expansive, too much CGI you're going to need to build the world that you're going to do or whatever. So let's do Moon.
Yeah.
So think of it in terms of that. If we were to have this movie first, retool it a little bit, have Paul Rudd be the main character, but they still meet in that diner and you're watching this fake trial on the screen and you're like, oh, it's like clones of Sam Rockwell. That's kind of interesting. Oh, I'm Sam Bell. I'm the real Sam Bell. And, oh, wow, this world's got clones too.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, they come out with the sequel, unofficial sequel or loose sequel, and it's called Moon, and you get to see the backstory behind that weird story. You'd be like, that would be cool.
That would be a really good payoff.
I don't have the investment into that move to the Moon yet, and the Sam Bell character yet in this alternative timeline. Yeah. So it makes a little bit more sense if you were to do it like that. But the way that we have digested it, people who have seen Moon and enjoy it, you're just like, give me that.
Yeah.
Please, give me that. Can we just stop with this fucking 7-day Adventist Christian scientist or whatever Amish he is?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting that the whole thing started because his family doesn't believe in doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason why he wasn't able to retain his voice was because they refused surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's against their religious practices. Oh God! Like I hate that shit. It's like Jehovah's Witnesses who.
Yeah, it's Jehovah's Witness, Christian Scientists, and some sects of Amish culture all shun modern medicine.
One of Deanna's grandparents was a Christian Scientist.
Really?
He died, guess what? Because he
Refused
refused to go
help.
to the doctor.
No shit.
He had a broken arm or something and never got.
And he's like, God will save me.
Nope.
God don't give a shit.
Died in the back of a truck.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Didn't you see Thor, War, Love, or what is it called?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah, those gods don't give a shit about their
No,
followers.
I haven't seen it. There's a great. No, I wouldn't.
But did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you talked about it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, pretty
when? When did you talk about it? Was I here?
It was a
Long time
while ago. Yeah.
I don't think you did.
I think you had the same reaction back then.
No.
You're like, when did you talk about this? Should have brought it to the show.
Actually, yeah, no, I think you did have the same reaction.
Yeah.
No. I don't think you talked about it.
Okay. Well, he didn't give us a full review on it.
No.
I think we already yelled at him for it.
Oh.
I'm 99% sure.
Was it on? Was it recorded?
He's like, I'm gonna go through the archives.
I don't know when it would be.
You never. Yeah. I used to like scribe the Gab and Chatter, not transcribe it, but just pull out keywords, stuff that we talked about, so you could search it. It became too labor intensive, so I stopped doing that. But
I don't believe it when I see it.
okay.
All right. Fine.
Anyways, so I did like the visual component of it. I liked the world building. I thought there was some cool stuff there. I think the CGI was obvious, but not like bad.
It wasn't jarring, but yeah, you could definitely tell.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, they did a good job for what they were trying to do, trying to build. I liked the idea of the fly meals. It's
I did too.
It's like Uber Eats, but better.
I love that.
The one guy's in the locker room and he's like, just ping my phone. I'm going to be on the move. And the meal just comes to wherever you are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool. But like Tyler said, the mobsters in it they had no weight to them.
Yeah.
They were like trying to kill this guy because they made him look like assholes in the club.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, we need to get these guys because they're getting in on our drug deals or, they're cutting in on our.
I didn't even know what they did.
Who fucking knows? It's half-baked criminals, basically.
And it was Maxim who owned the club.
Yeah.
He was like
Maxis.
the ringleader.
It was Maxim.
Oh, Maxim?
Yeah.
Right? He was like the leader of
Yeah, he was
the gang.
Yeah, he was
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, he was the Don.
Black Russian.
And it was, yeah. Accents real bad. Real bad accents, too. They really, their Russian accents sounded like Malkovich from Rounders.
Yeah.
Don't splash the Piotr. It's like, okay,
Why
calm
they have
down.
to make him Russian?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Because they're gangsters.
and they're
of course.
And they're in Germany.
They're in Eastern Europe.
Yeah. But Russia's still pretty far from there.
Oh, well, I guess so.
So-
But I don't know.
Anyways, I think it was probably a little bit better than I remember, but not by much. And I did, the first time I remember tagging Rudd as like, what are you doing? What is this character doing? I liked him more this time on a rewatch, but it just would have been nice too if there were like, I don't need a 100% A to B sort of thing. And I don't need 100% like this character is good and this character is bad.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a little bit of gray in there. But he goes from like kind of the hero to an outright psychopath, like beating the shit out of that cop in public and like threatening to slice people's throats and stuff. And he's got like this Bowie knife taped to his
That
back.
knife looks awesome though.
And I'm like, damn, there's just a lot of ambiguity to his character and not in a way that I thought was beneficial to the story, the complexity of the story.
Yeah, I mean, like the change in his attitude is very jarring because in the beginning, like you sympathize with him. Although, yeah, he, like you said, it's like a gray area because, he's working for the mafia. Mm-hmm. He's probably doing a lot of unsanitary surgery on these people.
Well, they're both like eating and drinking over that guy's open leg, but
he's like pulling the mask off like while there's an open wound. And it's just like, well, what are you
it's not a
doing?
sterile environment.
Yeah, not a sterile environment.
And then at the same time,
and he's also assisting in torture.
Then at the same time, the relationship between Bill and Duck, I'm not quite sure. Are they in a committed relationship or are they an open relationship? Are they just pals or are they fucking each other? I
don't think they are.
I think they just saw a lot of shit back when they were on the field.
I don't think they're in a relationship.
I don't know. It went back and forth. There were certain scenes where I'm like, okay, maybe they are
The
together.
mall scene like kind of threw me off.
And the one that made me feel like they was when you are introduced to Cactus Bill's daughter the first time. And she says something like, I'm going to go out. And then Duck says something like, okay, no stooping the babysitter, like he's being jealous that he's banging the babysitter in their house.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of scenes, and it was just a little too ambiguous for me. I want to know one way or the other, just so I can make heads or tails of where the story is and how to follow it. So, and okay, that's kind of my initial thoughts. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would recommend someone to watch this. You know what I mean? Like if you're a big Paul Rudd fan and you want to see doing something super weird and like totally different than normal, give it a watch. But
You want to see him berate another barista?
yeah, so that's kind of where I come down on it.
I mean, that scene, that coffee shop scene was so.
That was probably the best laugh I got to the whole thing. When he's
really?
dragging himself to the front. He goes, oh, hold on, I gotta take my breath. I gotta take a breath here.
He overdid the bit though.
Yeah,
I thought it was a little overdone.
That's more in the editing than anything because you're supposed to take as many takes as you need as long as you want, and then they edit it down to the best comedic timing.
Yeah.
And it just
I know when he's complaining to the guy, it's like 3 fucking feet. And in my brain, I'm like, yeah, it's only 3 fucking feet.
I think that's what his face said too.
I mean, I don't know. He does play a really good. Paul Rudd plays a really good asshole when he wants to. I like that. I really liked his Bowie knife. It made me want to get one.
So for a large knife he's just carrying around
In a weird place too, like
It's
sideways across his lower back.
Yeah, but that means he can just go.
Yeah, but it could fall out also.
That's true.
You want your knife facing down, so it's not gonna you gotta pull up to get it out.
It just looks badass.
It does. It looks pretty cool. Looks like an anime villain.
But it's probably not practical in real life.
Got that Arthur Morgan knife.
But I also liked his name, Cactus Bill. That's such a badass name.
Yeah, some cool.
It's like a drink.
It does. I mean, a lot of this feels like an anime. Like it feels like it could have been started from an anime.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
The third in the franchise is
it made?
It's a graphic novel.
Oh,
yeah, it's a graphic novel called Maddie: Once Upon a Time in the Future. And it was released in 2020.
Okay.
So
is it
more or less an anime? Yeah.
So I mean,
manga? No, it's not a manga.
No, it's a graphic novel.
Graphic novel, actually.
One thing I thought that was really annoying was I wouldn't even have known this unless the subtitles were on, but everybody's name is spelled stupid. Like the guy's name is Maxim.
Maksim. Yeah,
Maxim.
Maxim.
Oh, yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Okay,
just because we're in the future, you can spell it right.
So there should have been like a disclaimer on this movie that you should have your subtitles on, because I caught on to this like a little bit too late in the movie, but when they're talking in German or French or whatever, I thought you weren't supposed to understand what they were saying. And then I paused the movie and I thought to myself, I think I should be getting this dialogue. So I put on the subtitles, and sure enough, it's translating it for you.
Why don't they burn it into the
hard coded into the movie?
Yeah, especially if you're supposed to know.
Yeah, so I had no idea. I was watching it without subtitles the whole time, and I wanted to know, okay, is it just going to say in parentheses speaking German,
speaking French?
Yeah, no, they actually translate the whole conversation, and I kicked myself.
Do you not watch with subtitles on normally?
It depends. Like for something, it really depends on the movie. If it's like a quiet movie, I will put on the subtitles. But if it's a little bit in your face,
I get so much more out of it since I started watching with subtitles.
If I've seen a movie enough times, I'll usually not watch it with subtitles.
Yeah. Like when I watched The Witch this last week, I didn't watch it with subtitles.
One thing
about that movie, you really should have subtitles.
Yeah,
on
just because of the language.
I would say for the first 2 times, yeah, subtitles are necessary. But like after like third, fourth time,
like I said,
wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
The thing about Alexander Skarsgard's character is that he was mute, he was bartender. He's Skarsgard. He's Alexander Skarsgard, and he has the stature.
He's a big fucker.
of
Alexander
Skarsgard.
He's a goddamn Viking.
Yeah.
He's not yet.
He's got Viking blood in him.
He's got a presence.
Yeah.
Right. But in this movie, he is. I was like, is he supposed to be like a good fighter, or is he just like he's throwing bottles? And when you first see him get really mad at the club, and he pushes that guy against the wall. Oh, he's got some
aptitude,
some strength,
Yeah.
some like he can carry his own.
Yeah,
but he can't really.
No.
And that part of that, I was expecting him to do that. I guess it makes sense that he's not like that because
It's just horny rage.
he's Amish. It's that nerd
he
rage.
just comes from the background that he does.
Yeah.
And then in almost every scene, he's got like this. He's got his little notepad, and he's like doing this type thing. He's like,
He never writes angry either.
No.
He's like, hold on a second.
He just shows the thing.
That would be such an annoying.
He's got
thing
like
to do.
puppy dog eyes. A lot of the time
They play him like he's like stupid.
Yeah,
because he is.
Why though?
He's not stupid. He just can't talk.
No, he's stupid because he.
Tyler's just like, oh, that blind person's stupid because they can't fucking see.
They can't see.
What an idiot!
Open your eyes.
Haven't you tried seeing? It's great. You should try it.
Physically disabled people are stupid, according to Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Noe.
Yeah.
Direct quote.
Direct quote. Yeah.
No, but it's like when you flash forward, it's like a 30-year flash forward. He just got sleepaway camped. And they told him we can't have surgery. And he's this hulking oaf, but you know nothing about him except for he's played like a mentally challenged person, not just like a sheltered mute. They play him like he's freaking dumb, like he's stunted.
Yeah.
And it made me think that, what is the girl's name? What is her name? It's
Nadia or something.
Nadira.
Nadira.
That's
yes,
it, Nadira.
Nadira.
With 2 A's, fucking insufferable. So Nadira is Jenny to his Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He's the slow oaf that she's taking advantage of. Because
giving him HIV.
It's right. Yeah. She gave him the HIV before she got, because she's a hooker, right?
She gave him the old HIV ho.
She's a hooker in this.
Gave him the plus.
Nvidia or whatever her name is. Nvidia. Yeah. She's the
graphics card.
She's the graphic cards magnate. The heir to the graphics card throne. But she's a hooker and she's in with the mob and she keeps trying to tell him, oh, there's something you know about me. If you want to tell him something, just fucking say it. You don't have to give him this giant preamble and then take a phone call and then never come back.
Yeah.
Say it. Just fucking say it.
All she needed to say was, I'm not who you think I am. I'm a hooker, but I love you. But I got a heart of gold. Hooker with a heart of gold. And a child with Cactus Bill. But she is using him for protection or something like that.
I think she's using him for an outlet from the hard life that she's currently residing in. Like it's like an escape.
But why him? Is it because he's not jaded by technology or whatever?
Because he doesn't speak.
Well, because the perfect boyfriend.
Yeah.
Keeps his mouth shut.
The problem that I have is that every little act that he does for her, he carves a little seahorse or a starfish or whatever into a wooden ball for whatever. I found that. It makes it...
Wood is my thing.
She makes it sound like it's this really profound gesture. Like, oh my God, you get me.
Yeah.
I don't deserve you. You're so good to me. And he's like, hey, I brought you lunch. And she's like, oh, you are the best. You're the fucking best. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me.
No one's ever brought me lunch.
It's a little bit over dramatic.
It's super dramatic. It's
treats him.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's pretentious.
Pretentious.
Is it pretentious? Is assigning meaning to something or significance to something that really is not that profound.
Yeah.
I thought it was definition of pretentiousness.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
That's not my interpretation of pretentiousness.
Yeah, I always thought pretentious was...
Oh, we're rewriting the dictionary now.
Negative connotation towards being over prideful. I mean, I guess...
Pretentious, characterized by assumption of dignity or importance, especially when exaggerating or undeserved. A pretentious, self-important waiter. A pompous...
waiter?
It's like giving an example.
No.
Pompous, making an exaggerated outward show or ostentatiousness.
I mean, I guess you could characterize
All right, what does
that
ostentatiousness
relationship.
mean?
Extravagant over like ostentatious would be like a peacock.
I mean, so what I got, so the interpretation I got with
Pretentious peacocks. You
Nadia,
bastards. Ostentatious bastards.
Nadia, right?
Nvidia.
Nvidia. No, not Nvidia.
Nadira. Think
Nadira.
Shakira, Nadira.
Yeah, Nadira. I think what it was when I saw their relationship was that she basically just took advantage of, one, he can't talk, two, he's innocent as hell,
Yeah.
and three, it was an escape from the harsh life of being a woman of the night. So it's
Women of the night.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that brings it back to she's taking advantage of him.
Yeah.
She's gaining more from the relationship than he is. And except for maybe he just needs to get a nut off, you know.
Well, I think she knew. I think she knew his.
She's Jenny. She's Jenny.
The extent of his naiveness.
Except they didn't grow up together. In this case, she just skipped to the end, gave him HIV, and bounced.
Gave him the plus, yeah.
And then
she already has a child.
And then dumps the kid off on him too.
Well, she gets killed.
She still does.
Yeah.
That's what happens to Jenny.
And so that
she gets killed by AIDS.
No, Bill has the kid, and then Bill gets killed. And then he takes the kid.
Yeah, but Skarsgård ends up with the kid.
Yeah, but
Jenny was killed. She was murdered by AIDS. In this case, Cactus Bill murdered the other one, Nvidia,
and then he murdered Bill.
Well, he doesn't end up with the kid. He dumps her off.
The grandparents.
At the grandparents' house. So
yeah, that's true.
But I think, I mean, I don't know. It was.
It's a shitty story. It's a shitty script. That's what it is.
I don't know. Like,
why was Luba? Luba. Why was Luba so mean to him?
I
think Luba was in love with Nvidia. So
I thought he was gay.
He's whatever you want him to be, babe. Yeah, come on, babe.
Maybe he was pan. I don't know.
I really like that scene where
he was also a hooker.
Yeah, he was too,
and a drag queen.
Hey, he looked like
very good one.
Jessica
too.
Rabbit.
I was like, damn, those tits look real.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just now that we're talking more about it in depth, I'm just like trying to piece together like a cohesive story.
I mean, the simple story is that he's just trying to find her,
but he does it so poorly. Like, no detective skills whatsoever.
He's a mute Amish bartender.
I know. Of course he's going to suck at it. That's why he shouldn't be the main character. Originally, it was set to be a contemporary, set in the modern day, British gangster movie. And then eventually was set to be set in Tokyo.
Like a Snatch?
And then, like Snatch. And Ken Watanabe was going to play the Alexander Skarsgård character. Oh. Then after the success of Moon, Duncan Jones rewrote it and have it set in the future.
Okay.
Bad move.
Big mistake, yeah. I'm looking at some other trivia here. The opening song was an orchestral rendition of Heroes by David Bowie. And the remix that they made for this was actually done by Philip Glass. This movie's got fucking like...
It's got names.
Yeah, it's got names attached. It's got big name people behind it. And
this is what we get.
Warcraft, I know it was like a CGI, 100% CGI live action.
Is it an animated movie?
Yeah, there's some real video in it, but it's so covered in CGI armor and shit that it's like basically he's 100% animated.
And Tyler's mom likes it.
I don't know about
I thought it was
that.
good. I thought it was good. Yeah, she does like it.
No, she does?
Yeah, I talked to her.
Why are you...
Because you don't talk to her.
Yeah, she's got to have one son in her life that talks to her. It's weird when I give her a hug when we leave our when we hang out.
She hangs on just a little long.
Yeah, and she
lingers.
Yeah, under her breath she says goodbye, son. And I just look back and I just reach out.
She just goes, the wrong kid.
And then she closes the door and looks at me and just...
I know. You're in the other room. You're like, huh? Was Pete here? Pete was just here?
Sounds like an interesting plot for a movie.
It kind of does.
The Good Son.
But yeah, that song Heroes, we can be heroes for just one day. They did an orchestral version of it, composed by Philip Glass.
Wow.
I know.
That's
this movie.
Yeah, for this movie? Jeez.
Did you notice that David Hasselhoff is on the money?
Is he?
Yeah.
I did not notice that.
I had no idea.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger library in Demolition Man.
Oh yeah.
He was president?
Yeah.
I thought Paul Rudd's character's reaction to how Duck was a creep was really well done. That whole confrontation scene was really good.
Yeah.
But the quick forgiveness is really what irked me.
Yeah, you figure like that would have lingered at least a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was like just like that. He like turned a new leaf.
Hey, let's go get fucked up, babe.
Yeah.
What do you say? Let's go get laid.
Oh my God, no! This guy is spying on his underage patients.
Oh, another thing.
Okay.
This is more bothered.
Settle in, boys.
It bothered me.
Here we go.
So when has a patient, a child, and she has the prosthetic leg, and she's walking on that like, treadmill thing, the VR treadmill.
Yeah.
And he's like filming her, and then you see the perspective of the camera, and it's got all these like lights or numbers, and it's like digital thing. But he's using a medium format film camera.
That's what bothered you.
And I'm like, how does this work? This is an analog media, and it's capturing like medical data and scanning and doing all that stuff. It's just film. It's a film camera, unless it was supposed to be repurposed.
I'm thinking it was probably repurposed
because like I have one of those, and it's very manual and analog, and there's a dial on it. There's no buttons or touch screen or anything like that. It's got the overhead mirrored viewfinder that you look down on.
Yeah.
And it's a medical device in a medical recording device.
After the reveal, you can kind of infer that it wasn't used for medical purposes.
No, but it
It's
is
for spanking it.
It is. It has like the interface that we see in the movie.
Okay.
My problem with that scene was that they were really like showing the little girl's butt.
I know.
And I'm like, can we just creatively frame it so the camera is out of view? I know that the kind of, and it's just showing just a little through the slit of the thing, but
it's it goes on a little too long.
I didn't feel great watching that scene. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, we get it. He's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Tyler texted me at some point and said, maybe I should put my pants on for this. He has a rule. New listeners might not know this, but he has a rule: pants off when we're watching a new movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did feel a little
just in
weird.
case you need to crank that hog.
Just
it's called multitasking.
Yeah, but I thought that scene went on a little bit too long. I didn't notice anything about the camera setup like you did, Joseph.
Speaking of not new technology, there's there's an interesting mix of stuff in the car world.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a bunch of like real life futuristic looking vehicles that are they're in production now.
Yeah.
There's a 2011 Axiom Mega E-Worker, which is a weird looking kind of utility vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
BMW i3, BMW Vision, Efficient Dynamics. It's like a prototype model.
Mm-hmm.
Can-Am Spider. EDAG light car open source vehicle.
Never heard of that before.
I know, these are all weird stuff that I've never even heard of. Essence Motorcycles E-Raw motorcycle. And then they have, of course, the classic Mercedes, which was like a 62, just a Mercedes like 220.
It looked really cool. It
was a great
clean.
restoration.
Yeah.
Great restoration. And it pained me so much that they actually crashed it.
Oh,
Yeah, they did for sure. That right fender and the door was all fucked up. Like they really drove it for a while like that. And
oh man,
granted, they probably would have, had to pay to get fixed or whatever, but that upper apron was probably crushed on that passenger side and pushed forward. And those are not easy to fix on classic vehicles.
I can imagine the boss Maxim saying, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah. Yeah, well,
that's a classic.
Well, the owner of the actual vehicle probably said the same thing. It's like in the Hateful Eight when they actually smashed the real vintage Gibson.
Oh yeah, Oh, God damn it, Kurt Russell.
Oh, they did that in. Did I talk about Dolomite Is My Name in the streaming picks
today?
Yeah.
No.
Did I talk about it last week? No, I just watched that this week. I must have not logged in on my letterbox because I missed it. But I'll talk about that next week because it was a really good, high recommend. There's a scene in that movie where they're making like a blaxploitation movie in the 70s.
Yeah.
And one of the guys is like, hey, we got to be easy on this car. I borrowed it from my cousin that works at a Cadillac dealership. And then they blow it up for a scene. And he's like, wait, what do you mean we're going live? There are no real explosions on that. And then they literally, things blows to bits. And he's like, God damn it. And it just cracked me up because I was thinking it like in real life, how funny would that would be. And he's the only person not laughing.
I can see like the owner of that Mercedes like is shedding like a single tear while he's at while he's like watching it like as it unfolds. He's like, oh.
He's like, you guys motherfuckers better fix that.
Or give me the payout.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But then they had also a mix of like some classic vehicles too. There's like some 1970s and 1980s vehicles, you know, that were in actual production in the scenes. They just did some mild modifications or put some tubes on the side or whatever, which I can appreciate that.
When futuristic movies incorporate like classic cars and like classic technology, and they kind of do that in this movie too, because with Leo's cell phone, his girlfriend says, this is the oldest one I could get because if you look at his apartment, like there's nothing futuristic about it. It's like just your run of the mill.
He turns away from the TV in the diner too, and the diner owner comments on it.
Yeah.
He's got a sidekick. That's his phone.
Yeah. That's what it looks.
A Nokia brick.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. It looks like a sidekick.
You know what would be even better than the actual plot of this is if she gives him the phone and then he gets addicted to the phone and forgets about the actual mystery. You just cut to him and he's playing Snake again.
Yeah. I did like how they showed his incompetency in technology. He realizes his girlfriend is missing, and so he's trying to figure out the phone. He can't unlock the phone. He doesn't know how to unlock the phone. Mm-hmm. So it kind of like that sequence of events showed it gave me a little bit of panic because he's like really trying to figure this phone out. And so he goes to the manual and he's like looking at it. And it's like, dude, you're living in 2027 or whatever.
It's 2039, I think.
And like also Duck is the one who's been like
messing with him
and leading him on to find his girlfriend.
That I didn't get the motivation for.
There's a lot of the motivation that doesn't make sense in this.
It's like, why are you doing that? What is the point?
Even like at the end, Justin Theroux.
Just having fun, babe.
Yeah, Justin Theroux's character, Duck. Is it Duck?
Yeah, Duck.
There at one point he's I know he's just faking that he's remorseful for this, sex, stuff with the kids.
Yeah.
But he's like nice to Bill, and then he's repentant towards him, and then once he walks in on him with the knife in his neck, he's just like, I'm gonna go fuck your daughter now.
Yeah, finally I get the pass.
I know. When is the motivation flips like on a dime, and maybe that shows just how sociopath those guys are. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It just I felt like it was just more sloppy writing than anything.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then the whole between Cactus Bill and the military police, that never paid off in any way. Like, why was the military police following him? Because in the background of the movie, you can hear report anyone who has escaped from their service to your nearest military police officer. Mm. And so that was going on. That was like a kind of an ongoing thing.
Yeah. And
the general, I think he's like a sergeant or something. And in the beginning of the movie, Cactus Bill sees him in the bar and kind of raises his drink up to him. And then towards the end of the movie, they confront him in front of the brothel. And for the life of me, I can't even remember the conversation about what.
Like the sergeant or
the sergeant.
Whatever.
It was really super vague about the motivation.
Oh, and like why bounty hunters? What is that? What is
like that? Like why the military police, specifically this sergeant and his goons, are letting Cactus Bill get away with whatever he's doing? Because obviously, you can infer that they know what he's up to.
Yeah,
and there's no follow up.
No.
No. Again, just would have been that should have been the A line, the A plot for this.
So exactly. So I think that if you cut out that part, even though the part was interesting,
this movie is 2 hours and 8 minutes long. It could have been an hour and
40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah,
easy.
It's just it just felt directionless, and I think that visually it was fine. Paul Rudd was really I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I think he did pretty
for
good.
the material that he was given, he did well with
Oh,
it.
I forgot to mention Dominic Moynihan in a very small role.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the geisha.
Meridoc Brendybach himself
Yeah.
coming in as this weird sex geisha, this like robot pimp.
Yeah.
I know he's got like the dummies that are on the bed.
Yeah, he's got the two robots that are fucking each other.
He's some sort of a pimp or liaison or sex liaison or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I saw him in the credits and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then he answers the door. I'm like, fucking Mary, what do you got yourself into?
When Cactus Bill is lying on the ground, the knife stabbed in the side of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone all the way through.
All the way
It was
through.
a weird spot to stab someone.
Effective.
Just like a slow death, a slow, like suffocating, drowning.
It's like it's
drowning in your own blood death. And Duck is like, should have been nicer to me. And then he goes upstairs. What he's really saying is like about his daughter.
She was hot, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. We did. It came full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting. It's actually won an award. British Film Designers Guild Award for Best Production Design of an Independent Feature Film.
BFGA.
Yeah, the old BFDGA.
What was how did Duck explain the absence of her father?
I don't
Her
know.
father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's dead now and he takes her.
Duck? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know. He would just say Uncle Duck. And
Uncle
the
Duck's
Duck's going
good.
to take care of you now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, she kind of...
now both of her parents are fucking dead.
Yeah.
And then she finally speaks. So I was like, is she mute too? And then
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. That was the first time that she spoke.
and has a little German accent. She's like, "Und we go down to my grandparents' house."
I did like the fact that
She's apathetic towards her parents, both being murdered.
Mommy and Daddy are gone. All right, whatever.
Whatever.
I got this fucking Amish guy here though.
I think...
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
she,
good.
Yeah,
I think it's because she was probably... I mean, she was basically raised in a brothel, so...
she probably is
Raised by hookers. This is just like AI.
Yeah. Which I thought that was actually that's actually a pretty good idea for securing a babysitter if you have a child.
Raised by hookers.
Just hire a prostitute.
This is like
that's a great idea.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Listeners, disregard that advice. Do not hire a hooker
It's
to
like-
babysit your children.
It's a guaranteed babysitter.
It's like in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
and you might be able to take a little dip.
Okay, please keep interrupting me. It's like in Curb Your Enthusiasm when Larry David hires the hooker just to use the carpool lane. Because he wants to get to the baseball game faster.
Yes. I mean, if I had the money that Larry David had, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Then you can take a little dip.
Yeah, new yo-yo player is there. Our one remaining person who's following us in the chat just informed us, which Joseph read on the break. We didn't bring it up yet. Is that Richard Simmons passed away? Yeah. So now the biopic can go forward with Pauly Shore.
Oh my god.
Now there's no opposition.
Oh no.
The biopic is
He's got
surely coming.
Full reign of the story that he wants to tell.
Pauly Shore is just like, finally.
Pauly Shore's like in Emperor's New Groove with Yzma is like, well, he ain't getting any better. But rest in peace, Richard Simmons. That's very sad.
Peace.
Oh gosh.
A couple other little bits of trivia. This is the first Netflix original movie that came out of Germany.
Out of Germany?
Yeah, this was a German production.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The German listeners are loving this right now. USA. I mean, Germany.
Andre Blumenfeld was in this movie. He played Akeem. This was his Akeem.
No, who's that? Who's Andre Blumenfeld?
He's just an actor.
Oh,
He
okay.
was his last movie before he passed away.
Oh.
Which one was he?
Akeem, the character of Akeem.
Which one was that?
I don't know. That's during tribute.
Oh, well. Very sad.
Thank you. Mute is also the name of a short that Duncan Jones wrote about or directed about a drone pilot. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
Interesting parody. And then there's a dedication to his parents, Duncan
that.
Jones' parents, which is a very weird way of phrasing it. It says, in memory of those who became parents, David Jones and then the dates, and Marion Skeen, which gave the dates of their life. Which I'm like,
wait, his dad was David Bowie.
David Jones is his real name.
David Jones.
His performing name was
David Jones.
This is David Jones.
Sounds like a fake name.
No, David Bowie sounds like a fake name.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I know.
Justin Theroux and Paul Rudd's characters were influenced by Trapper John and Hawkeye from MASH in their outfits. One of them was dressed like a military dude.
Also, there's a character named Duck in MASH.
Duncan Jones must love MASH, I guess. So
he loves those military.
I never watched it, so
it's like about doctors in the military.
Yeah.
The knife that Paul Rudd's character uses is called a Bowie knife, named after 19th century American pioneer James Jim Bowie, for whom it was created. But obviously was named after David Bowie.
Yeah.
This is a Bowie knife. Get it? Because my dad.
Because my dad. My dad, get it?
Oh,
David Jones.
man.
I mean Bowie.
David Bowie's my dad.
I like the idea. Like he uses a Bowie knife. You get it, right? And they're like, yeah, Duncan, we get it.
In the scene where Leo meets Nikki in the restaurant, the prostitute is wearing a raincoat that's patterned after one of the replicants that Zorro wore in 1982's version of the original Blade Runner. So it was a raincoat patterned after one of the replicants' raincoats from the original Blade Runner.
Nikki, that character who was supposed to be tortured by Paul Rudd and Duck, but when we see him again, nothing happened to him.
His eye, he's just got like a black eye. Or
They
whatever.
just punched him in his face.
No, the mafia goons beat him up and dragged him to Cactus's room, and then they were going to torture him, but Paul Rudd's character just puts a piece of gum on his forehead and then throws a sheet over him, and then they just kind of forget about him.
Yeah, you're led to believe.
I don't know if they put the sheet over him in that scene though.
No, not in the scene, but when you're
led to believe that more happened, because you can do a lot of torture to somebody without leaving marks.
Sure.
Trust me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, okay.
Like the scratching of a plate and the fork. And then
poking your eye. Let's see here. Not much else.
Yeah.
There's not much. Oh, the henchman Gunther is modeled after the character of Julian in Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Another no payoff was those like synthetic guys that were guarding Nikki.
Those are cool. Those guys were cool looking.
We got nothing.
Yeah. They look cool. I wanted to see them in action.
Those syndicate guys over there, they're trained to kill or whatever, and you're like, damn, those guys are freaky looking, and then nothing happens with them.
And then they just sit there looking cool.
That's the trend of this movie is like, oh, that's cool. We should be watching a movie about that. Okay,
no, we're watching this.
Back to this boring ass movie about this boring Amish guy.
I know they wasted Skarsgård in this.
They did. They really did.
It's weird. It's very similar. You guys haven't seen Boy Kills World, but in that movie,
he's also mute.
Alexander or Bill Skarsgård is mute, and it's kind of the same thing, except for they gave him a internal monologue that's kind of constant throughout the entire movie. I couldn't get the two of them to mesh because it's John Benjamin's voice.
Oh, it is
paired with Bill Skarsgård, and you're the whole time I was just imagining Archer or Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Being his internal monologue.
Wow, that's an interesting choice.
I mean, that movie didn't really work.
Coach McGirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
Brendan. Yeah, don't get tattoos when you're drunk, Brendan. You'll get the Chiquita Banana logo on you. This is the cow that really wants you to eat cheese for some reason. You see this, Brendan? This is your future, Brendan. So, anyways, let's go around and give us some grades. Tyler.
I'm still going to stick with my C-. Great ideas presented, just not great execution. I think Paul Rudd did as good as he could with the material given to him. Yeah, great ideas, poor execution.
All right.
Visually looks okay.
Said C-?
Yeah, C-. All
right, Joseph, what do you give?
Yeah, I'm in like D+ range. Like. It's like the same thing. Just there's a lot of promise there that fails on almost every aspect. Fails every promise it makes, unfortunately, because I wanted to like it, but I didn't. I think the expectations of like, all the setup, it's like, oh, this could be really cool, and then I'm like high on the roller coaster, and expecting a big drop and fun.
Yeah.
But then it's just like a little.
Yeah, then just like
Very anticlimactic.
Whoa. It's like
It's like the ending. I don't. This is very contextual, but the ending of Pirates of the Caribbean ride when you go up that big. Near the end, they go big, and then it just like
a little
big
tiny
drop, and then it's just right there.
Whoa!
Nothing, and it mounted to nothing.
All right.
So yeah,
D+. I think I'm going to match Tyler. I'm a C minus, almost a C, and just I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C. There's enough there that I feel like had promise. It's just like the gifted kid in school that the teacher's I see so much potential in you. You really just got to focus, because other kids don't have what you have. Duncan Jones, you hear me?
Not all of us are David Bowie's son.
I know. You can't just rely on that your whole life, guy. All right? You can't. The characters can't all have Bowie knives and sing friggin' Ziggy Stardust or whatever.
Yeah.
So again, this would have been a great script if it would have been written from a different perspective, or someone else would have got into it instead of the guy that wrote Sherlock Holmes and then nothing else.
Which Sherlock Holmes?
The one with RDJ.
Oh, the I would say Ridley Scott. No, the other guy, the British guy.
Edgar Wright.
No, what's his name? Fucking Snatch and
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that wrote that, and then the director who started the movie, The Passion Project. It's like somebody from the outside should have come in and said, nah, this is a freaking disaster. You need to completely scrap this and start over from scratch.
Yeah.
But they didn't get that. We got what we got. So we got the German Netflix original movie, which translated even less to American audiences.
Yeah.
So that's that. Now it's time for the Wheel of Destiny. 1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny. All right, Mute is off the wheel.
Thank God.
And I'm sorry. I hope that was good. I thought it was going to be more fun to watch. Like, it's not terribly bad. It's not so bad that
It kept me engaged.
Yeah, I was engaged. Yeah, I didn't get bored.
Disappointed at the end.
Yeah. I know when she comes in the bag at the end, and you're like,
"That's it."
Is there like a clone or a twin or
Is
something?
she alive?
There's gonna be another one pop out somewhere. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I know. He ended up being a really terrible person. Paul Rudd's character.
I just didn't know how to feel about it. Tell me how to feel, Duncan Jones.
Yeah.
All right, so that's off the wheel.
What's on the wheel?
A movie that we brought up in casual conversation here in the Abeyta Studios in the kitchen
today,
a couple weeks ago, and then earlier today brought it up again. So I feel like it's fitting that we watch The Core.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
The Core.
Nice.
Yes.
Where I haven't seen this movie in so long.
I've never seen it.
Really? You never?
No.
Oh man, it's so good.
The plot is what that the core of the earth stops spinning.
It's essentially like sunshine. The sun has stopped burning, but except we're going into the earth.
I saw sunshine, and that sun was still burning. All right.
Yeah.
The fucking guy turned into a zombie vampire crisp.
Yeah. Sunshine, from my memory of The Core, Sunshine is a much better movie.
Oh yeah, Sunshine is a lot better than The Core.
I've kind of heard this movie is a really crappy movie,
but it's a fun. It's definitely
fun, crappy. Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart, Stanley Tucci, I think.
Cool. The Tooch is here. All right,
the Tooch.
All right, cool. So let's recap the wheel for new listeners and viewers. We have Wheel of Destiny right here. It's 8 slots, 3 hosts, as the theme song says, and 2 picks for Patreon. So we have The Core from Pete, Monster Squad from Pete, Suburbia from Tyler, American History X from Tyler, Do the Right Thing from Joseph, Notting Hill from Joseph, Kentucky Fried Movie from Patron Heather, and Grizzly Man from Big Dal.
Is American History X? Is it gonna be?
Is it gonna be?
Is it gonna be?
I really hope so.
That's a good spin. Damn.
Yeah. Joseph, you want to call us one? Eventually, one day.
Yeah, once yeah. You got those fake wheels where it just keeps spinning. Oh. Monster Squad.
Oh, it's so close to Suburbia.
Monster Squad.
I have seen this movie before.
I have as well.
It's a Halloween-esque movie.
Both of the movies that I have on the wheel, I have not seen, and you guys both have.
Yeah.
So let's see if this is streaming anywhere. Monster Squad.
Oh, it has to be. So old.
All All right, Monster Squad streaming just to watch. Let's see here. Hoopla, Showtime. Yeah.
Hoopla, and Showtime.
Count Dracula adjourns to Earth, accompanied by Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and the Gill Man.
The Gill Man.
The Uglies are in search of a powerful amulet that will grant them power to rule the world.
The Uglies?
Our heroes, the Monster Squad, are the only ones daring enough to stand in their way.
Oh.
That's the synopsis from Just Watch.
Yeah. I see this. I watched this the first time like a couple of years ago.
It's a 6.9 on IMDb. Nice. Hour and 22 minutes. Sweet. We can get
very short.
Very 80s movie.
Yeah, this is from 1987. I was 1 year old when this came out. Let's see if anybody lists who's in this movie. I don't know. I know nothing about this.
You were 1 year old in 87?
Yeah. I was born in 86.
Were you?
Yeah.
Why are you
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
You're questioning it.
No, but
you guys were born in 80, right?
No.
80?
I mean, 92.
Yeah, 92.
We were born in 92.
Yeah, I'm 6 years older than you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Are you okay, man?
Don't think about
Are you
it.
okay?
Just don't
because
think
your birthday falls on a Seinfeld date.
Oh my God.
June 14th, 86.
Yeah, so you would not be 1 year old.
Yeah, June
in
14th.
87.
Yeah, it would be. If it was the second half of 87.
But no, because you're a year off from the Seinfeld date.
I'm June 14th, 86. It's my birthday.
Maybe it's 87 then. I don't know.
I think it is 87.
Always comes back to
I think it's 87. All right, so this is directed by Frank Decker, written by Shane Black and Frank Decker.
Oh,
very interesting. I didn't know that. Frank Decker also directed Night of the Creeps, RoboCop 3, and he was a writer for. Oh, I'm sorry, he was a writer for all those. Let me see what he directed.
He directed.
Let's see here. Okay, he did direct a RoboCop 3, Tales from the Crypt, Monster Squad, Night of the Creeps, and Blind Run. Really short directing list. Shane Black, we all know Shane Black. As far as the cast goes, Andre Gower, Robbie Geiger, Stephen Macht, Duncan Rieger, Tom Noonan. He plays Frankenstein's monster.
It was 87.
Ryan Lambert, Ashley Bank, John Grease. Oh, that's Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico's in this.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, a bunch of people I don't recognize. So, well, we'll see how this goes. Tyler, you like this movie?
I do. Yeah,
right.
it's sort of nostalgic movie for me, even though I didn't see it when it first came out, but I did see it when I was a youngster.
Cool. Awesome. Joseph, what's your thoughts on Monster Squad?
I remember being disappointed in it.
Okay. Well, when I put it on the wheel, I had two different listeners email or write in, and they said, one of them said, "Oh, I can't wait, you're going to love it." And the other one said, "I can't wait, you're going to hate it." So, new yo-yo player says, 1976 here. I saw Monster Squad in theaters. All right.
That's dope.
Love it. So we'll review that next week. That'll be live on Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time.
PST,
or on the podcast stream.
Yes.
Monday for Gab and Chatter, Wednesday for the full review. So anything else you guys want to say, fellas?
I think that's it for myself.
Nope.
All right. So thank you to the cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan Corbin, and Chris. And thank you to the YouTube people on YouTube that are following us. New yo-yo player, new listener. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, we do this every Saturday. So if you're a podcast listener and you want to join us on the YouTube, we would appreciate that. It is a easy way to help us support the show without having to join Patreon or any of that stuff, live every Saturday. But the shows come out the same time the podcast released. The video episode is released as well. So if you watch it there, it actually does help us in a monetary way. Mm-hmm. So until next time. Thank you for joining us as we review not quite a dumpster fire, Mute. Just a disappointing movie.
Yeah. It wasn't on fire. Just a dumpster.
It was a dumpster. Follow us next week as we review a maybe dumpster, Monster Squad. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC, and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.
See ya.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later. See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.